Ladies and gentlemen.
What are you saying, people? Back with a bang. Here I am to bring you guys another video today. You guys know what time it is. It's Sunday, so that means it's the weekly watch list. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the stocks I'm watching for this upcoming week. I will also briefly discuss a couple stocks that we traded last week, and also just some overall setups that I'm looking at. One thing to note is none of this is financial advice. We're here to make money. We're going to make money this week, as we always do. You might take a couple losses, but it's all part of the game. But one thing I do want to say before you guys tune on out or go do something else, stay till the end of the video for a couple stocks that I'm going to break down a little bit more in depth. And obviously, if you guys haven't seen my overall top stocks to watch for August, go check that one out as well. But this week, we've got a couple important earnings, most notably Nvda on Wednesday after hours. But also don't forget about Salesforce CRM after hours as well. It's going to be a great week. The aim is to make money. The aim is to make sure you guys keep eating. And of course, if you're new around here, you guys know the deal. Subscribe to the channel, hit the beautiful red button below. And for those of you who are not new around here, or if you're new, either way, if you're watching this, drop a thumbs up. I know you guys tried to clip me last time, so no clips this time. Just drop a thumbs up, that's all I'm going to say. And of course, comment and share as well. So let's jump into it. Let's look at these markets. Let's see what's going on CNBC to start off with. China slams US for adding firms to export control list. Don't think that's very interesting, but it could affect Baba, JD, BIDU. But to be honest, I saw this information about Durov getting arrested in France. Telegram is not publicly traded. I don't think it could ever be because of the way they treat the company. You should go look into that if you don't know about that. But yeah, that's the main news. Rate cuts, we've heard about that. Nothing really interesting there. So let's just jump straight into the charts. So as you can see, SPX, the overall S&P 500 index, we're near all-time highs. It's like we're almost always near all-time highs each and every month now. Let me look at tech though. So let's pull up Nvda. So there's a few things to note for Nvda. Right now, well, they're going to report earnings Wednesday. If guidance comes better than expected, expect the stock to soar. If guidance comes in lower than expected, expect that to tank the markets and obviously tank Nvidia's stock. I think the earnings per share is expected to be around 64 cents. It's either 64 or 68. You might have to check that one. And they're expecting around $28.6 billion in revenue. So if those numbers come in above, that's better for the stock. But again, it doesn't mean the stock price is going to rise automatically. I think right now, the biggest thing really hindering on this earnings is the AI improvement. Nvidia has had multiple earnings in a row where they've outperformed, and that's mainly due to AI. The expectations for Nvidia is always high. And unfortunately, it just means it's going to be higher again, once again, this earnings. So they're going to need to exceed those expectations. I mean, the stock is in a great place right now. The weird thing is, it's pretty much an AI race right now. You guys saw with Palantir a couple weeks ago. We talked about that one in Discord. Due to AI, it flew. Palantir went all the way from $21 up to $26, $27 in a couple of days. So we're going to need to see how Nvidia does perform this week. One thing to note, news-wise, fundamentally, is Jensen, their CEO, is selling almost $14 million, I think, per day. So that's a lot of shares. Obviously, in regards to his wealth, that's not a lot of shares. But in regards to the stock and just what he's doing around Nvidia, that is a lot. So we're going to have to look at seeing how that affects the stock. In regards to the other stocks in this sector, AMD, SMCI, AVGO, I know AVGO is partnering with Google. So if Nvidia does well, I expect AVGO, Broadcom, to push up again, $10, $15. I would not be surprised. The best way to trade this, I would say, for those who are new to the market, trade the continuations. Yes, Nvidia might jump 4 or 5% overnight. Cool. But trade the continuation, whether that means it sells off hard or whether it means it continues right in the next day. I'd say this stock, AVGO, Broadcom, and Nvidia are the top two in cloud computing. So when Nvidia does rise, Broadcom will be affected. Obviously, AMD will be affected as well. As always, AMD is one we traded last week to the upside, and it does have a nice little setup. Another one is SMCI, a partner of Nvidia. So you see how a lot of these stocks are related. SMCI, trading in this channel on the daily chart. Weekly chart is still way oversold. Look at that, very bearish, way oversold though. But going back to daily chart, we just need to break out of this channel. We're in between the moving averages. We're just waiting to see if we can break out. It could also just get rejected and tank down. Once again, a lot of this is riding on what Nvidia does. Intel, I told you we're talking about tech today. Intel is not looking good right now. They're poorly performing. I think a couple weeks ago they had earnings and the numbers just weren't great. The guidance was lower than expected, and of course, it dropped the stock. Intel is not one that I think will really be seeing a lot of upside anytime soon. But hey, the funny thing is, in this market, you never know. Again, it's an AI race. Intel is not showing a lot of AI innovation right now. So that's pretty much why the stock is trading this low. So let's talk about energy now. I'm going to start off with First Solar, ticker symbol FSLR. So this is a chart I posted in the Discord. The next two are also charts I posted in the Discord. We bounced off the moving average at a 200. We're at a solid level of resistance. Let's see if we can push up towards 250s. I think if we break out of this, where we are right now, we break these highs, or these highs that we've been forming, we can see this really run. It's happened with a couple of other stocks that I've traded recently. There's no reason it can't happen with First Solar. Next, Duke Energy. So Duke Energy Corporation, again, trading in a little bit of a channel. This one is sitting nicely on top of the moving averages. Once again, I told you, I posted this in the Discord. I'll be looking at getting calls on here. Looking at trading it up to 116. If you zoom out on this chart, you can see that those highs of 116 are similar to the past highs in 2023. That's why I'm looking at trading it to that level again. And if we break past that level, then we really could fly. And then lastly, Enphase Energy, ticker symbol EMPH. So on the daily chart, once again, we're seeing a nice uptrend. The last 2-3 weeks have been very bullish. We've just closed above the 200 moving average. Let's see if we can push on higher, up to 130s, 140s. The problem here is we have been rejected at the moving average a few times. We also do realize that right now, it's in a position where it could easily start downtrending again, purely because of what the market is doing and what other stocks around it are doing. But if we do break, again, we can see a $10 run. We can see a nice push. It was up $8 on Friday, almost $8. That's 7%. If you can break out of this channel and really push up, there's going to be a great returns for your option trades. And now let me talk about Toll Brothers, TOL. So I called this one last week on Discord, on YouTube, on Twitter, pretty much every platform you can imagine. You name it, I called it. Toll Brothers was sitting at 131 last week when I mentioned it. It has now jumped $17. So the thing with Toll Brothers is their July and August numbers were great. They had plenty of demand. Net new sales were up. Home sales were up. Deliveries were up. Revenue was up. A lot of things that contribute to a great guidance were obviously in the positive for Toll Brothers. So when you see an acceleration in business, acceleration in number of home contracts, obviously you're going to see a stock like this push up. So right now we're at all-time highs. I like it. And to be honest, when I look at Toll Brothers, I look at this chart, you might say it's overbought. Sure, but once it pulls back, and even if it doesn't pull back, the next 12 to 18 months are going to be huge for Toll Brothers. So it's on my radar, not only for the calls, which I've already traded, but also for the shares. I told you guys, Toll Brothers is one to watch. It was a sleeper. It was slowly building up. The moving averages crossed the upside, and it just took off. Obviously, earnings help with that. But still, we're about to see a lot of positive with Toll Brothers. And then I'm going to put on Lockheed Martin as well. Ticker symbol LMT. The reason I'm saying Lockheed Martin is because, again, from a technical point of view, look at this chart. We broke out of this range. This range lasted from April all the way till almost August. We broke out of that range. And what happened when we broke out of the range? We saw the stock skyrocket. A good $70, $80. Now consolidating again. Maybe not as much as we consolidated for those 3-4 months, but we are consolidating at these levels between 553 and 565. Once we consolidate and we start getting that confirmation of uptrend again, this is another one which could boom. So looking at the VIX, lastly before I end this, obviously we had that crazy day a couple of weeks ago on a Monday where VIX was up at 65. Thank God it's back to normal levels, around 15-16 points. But keep your eye on the VIX. If it stays around these levels, then I'm still going to be getting calls. If it starts to push up again, I'll be getting some puts, but also hedging by getting shares. And I know that sounds a bit weird, but it is possible to get shares, get calls, be bullish on a stock, but also get puts in regards to hedging for the short term. So that's my overall view on the market. We are in some QQQ calls going into this weekend. Those could be looking quite nice by the time the market opens, by the time this video is uploaded. Who knows? The good thing is, even if they are looking nice and even if you have missed out on the play, there's still plenty more to play, plenty more to trade. So what I want you guys to do in this market, really focus on managing your trade. Focus on how you trade, your setups, your strategy, whether you're using support and resistance, whether you're using supply and demand, whether you're using Bollinger Bands, EMA clouds, wherever you're using. Focus on your trading strategy, your setup, and trade that. The most important thing is you trade that. If you need to take a 20% hit and sell out, do that. If you need to take profits after only 30, 40%, do that. But that's all part of managing your trade. We don't just want to give alerts and you just jump in a trade anyhow. Focus on managing your trade. Focus on your setup, focusing on executing. Be surgical with your plays, especially in this market. We're expecting rate cuts in September. We'll see how that affects the markets. Everyone thinks it's going to help the markets run. To be honest, I'm leaning to the other side, but we're going to see what happens. Most important thing is you just trade what you can. Trade how you know best. And of course, use money you can afford to lose. Now, the aim is to always make money, but sometimes we are going to lose money. You guys understand that. I've lost plenty of money in this market. Everyone watching this video has probably lost money. That's just the nature of the game. But overall, I do want you guys to tap into the Discord, that first link in the description below. That's the Royal Trading Academy. We talk about stocks there. We do the breakdowns. We've got call outs. We've got different people showing their charts, people discussing stocks. We've got live trading and a lot more. So go check that one out. Second link in the description, the stock option starter pack. That, if you click on it, will actually give you a nice little video about what it is, but it entails 3 sections of 10 different videos, which talks about stocks overall and options and how to trade them, etc., etc. Go check it out. And overall, make sure you follow me on all social medias at The Wealth Prince. I will continuously be uploading. But we're going to a new week. I will upload the full watch list in the Discord tomorrow pre-market as well, so make sure you look out for that one. But that's it from me. Check out last video if you've not seen it already. Be back here next time for another video. We're going to make some more money in the market this week, finish out August on a high. But that's it from me. I got into making, you got into making. See you guys next time for another video. Peace.